Good evening. I wanted to take a few minutes of your time to kind of make a director's report on some of the things that have been going on, given the cancellation of the January board meeting. I will dispense with a lot of things and say under prayer, let's keep Donald Westmoreland, Sally Thomas, John Lewis, Peggy Carruthers, Bonnie Dyer, and Connie Miller in thought prayer because three of our board members are doing surgery. Peggy's having surgery, and the others have illness either in themselves or in their immediate family that's causing a little duress. With that noted, under Director's Report, and that's what this will be, is a video Director's Report to keep you aware of everything. You know, we had to make some alterations in the 2017 budget. Y'all told me to take care of people. I go to work with Donna to do it, and she agrees in taking care of people. So we've had to commit, put some additional money towards salaries and a big bit towards insurance. We've had a little reduction in retirement, but I will have spreadsheets for you. I'll show you the year-to-dates for 2017. I'll show you the revised 2017 budget. And by that point, we should have a final tally on 2016 as well. We're going to have to elect officers for 2017 at the February meeting. I would like to consider some projects for 2017. At Franklinton, we have had a big issue with the parking lot. Not the parking lot itself, but with the gravel exit behind it. We've had to have gravel put in 8 or 10 times and packed and done. And it's a cycle. Packed, done, holes appear. Packed, done, holes appear. It's happened a few times. It's not that it costs a big amount of money, but I would prefer to go with something like asphalt over half the length of that, because asphalt can go down almost during business hours and not have an impact on delivery of service to patrons. If we shut down and do concrete, we've got downtime, time with the concrete. If we're going to be open while some of that's going on, we just have to go through too much to make it practical. Even though concrete and its work are a little less expensive, the additional cost of the asphalt offsets the time that would be closed not available to patrons. That's just how I feel about it in one sense. We've had some issues with Thomas. One big issue is parking. It's been a nightmare for a couple of years for me to try to figure something out. But the issue isn't, strictly speaking, the library. It's the firehouse, the school, the steakhouse across the street, and the state police don't want people parking on the shoulder and doing different things. But I was there observing the problem over the last few weeks, and Miss Sally gave me a big phone call about it. We talked about it. Now, the only way I think to fix it is to get medieval on the people who park in the improper places, i.e. the handicap spot. We can make the spot behind the handicap spot a loading zone so that you can't park there between certain times. I'd like to be able to frame off the front of the library with like a little picket fake fence or something, because I have pictures I can show you that are very not so good about that. I'd like to look at maybe adding the meeting room and some things onto Thomas, putting a little value added there. And also, if we could do take a little further, I'd like to go with siding on the branch, because even though siding might be between $6,000 and $7,000, it's a one-time expense plus a couple $100 a year to pressure wash. Right now, the last time I had the building painted in 2012, that ran $4,800 4 years ago. And that's not something I want to swallow, because it destroys the maintenance budget. If we put siding on, it's a one-time expense. A few hundred to come in and maybe touch up a few little areas that are wood, that are exposed, and we go on from there. I'd like to talk more about meeting room and that kind of thing when we get there. New services, we're going to try to do a fax via the internet thing with the new copy machines that we're getting. Basically, Homeland Security, Tommy Thibault already does this. It just lets you send faxes over the internet. It'll make life a little easier for the staff at Bogalusa. I was thinking about asking if we could go up to $2 on the fee for that. One thing I'd like to do to gauge potential areas of service, get a couple of Wi-Fi hotspots and use them as for internet access, places like Angie, Mount Herman, maybe do some town halls or something, and demonstrate what we have. So we're going to have a number of adult programs this year. Miss Etta's working on some African American history programs, and I'm kind of working with her. I want to commit to a couple. We're going to have a singer by the name of Bobby Horton come sometime in March. Outreach is doing quite well. We are the only rural library that I know of that's doing it on the scale that we're doing. And we've got to do it for a lot of reasons. We've got the geography working against us. We've got very dispersed populations, but we are trying to support our communities as best we can with what we've got. That kind of sums up new business in the director's report. I am working to try and piece together a legislative agenda ahead of the meeting that the state library usually has with the finance committee. I want our legislators to understand just how important the state library is to us, how important libraries are to our communities. Very often, as Mr. Adams once said, it's a place where he learned a few things from a reading class. For me, it's been a place to engage and learn a lot from other people. And for a gentleman that I met in Bogalusa the other day, it's a place where he built and started his business. So, just to let you know some of the impact. I would weigh anything that we do in terms of outreach. If we have a lot of activity in the area, that might be the place where we want to place a branch. And I would look to Angie for that just as a starting point. Again, I'm sorry I had to cancel the meeting. I don't like doing that, but I also don't like putting people at risk. I'm not too often risk averse, but today was one of those days. Thank you for your time.